Did you know that almonds are one of the most calorie-dense foods in your kitchen? And yet studies from Harvard in 2021 show people who eat them regularly are often leaner and healthier than those who avoid them? It sounds upside down, right? A high-calorie nut linked to lower weight. And here is another truth that will surprise many. Most people think almonds are only about protein and fat, but research from the Mayo Clinic shows they may play a role in reducing age-related memory decline. Not just a snack, but possibly a brain ally for seniors. Now, I want to ask you, how old are you and which country are you watching from? Do you eat almonds every day, every week, or not at all? Type your age, your country, and your almond habit in the comments below. Because today, we will go through 7 of the most common myths about almonds, especially for people over 60. We will count down from number 7 to number 1. And for each one, we will bring the science, a real story, and practical tips to make your daily routine safer and smarter. But here is the promise. Do not skip number 1, because that is where the biggest surprise is waiting. It is the kind of truth that can change your breakfast plate forever. So stay with me, grab your tea or coffee, and let us dive in. People say almonds are fat bombs. They say if you eat them every day, your belly will grow. That is the myth. But science tells a very different story. In 2019, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study where adults ate almonds daily. Guess what happened? They did not gain more weight than the group that avoided them. Dr. Frank Hu from Harvard explained it simply. Almonds may actually help with weight control because they make you feel full and even help burn a little more energy. A nut that is high in calories, yet not making you fat. That turns the old belief upside down. Now let me tell you about Harold. He is 70, a retired bus driver. For years he feared almonds. Too fatty, he thought. His doctor suggested replacing chips with just 1 handful of almonds each night. 6 months later, Harold had lost 4 pounds. His waist was smaller by 2 inches, and the late night hunger that once pushed him to junk food was gone, all from a small handful. So how do you do it right? Here are some simple steps. First, keep it to 10 to 15 almonds a day, not a bag. Second, choose unsalted almonds. Your blood pressure will thank you. Third, pair them with fruit, like an apple, for extra fiber and balance. Fourth, put them in a small jar instead of eating straight from a big pack. And fifth, make it a habit to eat them when you usually reach for something less healthy, like cookies or chips. This is not about eating more, it is about eating smarter. So let me ask you, do you think almonds are more likely to make seniors gain weight or to help keep weight under control? Comment below, I want to see if you are team gain or team control. Many people say this, almonds are oily, so they must raise cholesterol. That is the myth, but science says the opposite. A review published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2020 looked at many studies. It showed almonds actually lower LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, and raise HDL, the good one. The National Institutes of Health even recommends nuts, including almonds, as part of a heart-healthy eating pattern. So the oil in almonds is not the enemy. It is mostly monounsaturated fat, the same type found in olive oil. Now let me introduce Gloria. She is 68, a retired teacher. For years she avoided nuts because she feared cholesterol. Her breakfast was a muffin and coffee every morning. Then her doctor pointed her to NIH guidelines. She decided to try replacing that muffin with 15 almonds and a piece of fruit. Just 3 months later, her blood test showed her LDL dropped by 12 points. Her HDL went up. And for the first time in years, her doctor smiled and said, keep doing this. So what can you do? First, replace processed snacks with a handful of almonds. Chips or cookies give you empty calories, almonds give you healthy fats. Second, try sprinkling sliced almonds on your morning oatmeal. It adds crunch and heart benefits. Third, roast them lightly at home without extra oil to keep them natural. Fourth, add slivered almonds to your salad instead of bacon bits. You get flavor without the damage. Fifth, stay with 1 ounce, around 28 grams, about 23 almonds a day. That is enough. Simple swaps, big difference. So here is the question for you. If you had to choose breakfast, Would you go with Team Muffin or Team Almonds? Tell us below, because your choice may say a lot about your future heart health. Some people still believe this. Almonds are full of fat, so they must be bad for people with diabetes. That is the myth. Science again tells a different story. In 2017, a study published in Metabolism showed that almonds can improve insulin sensitivity and help control blood sugar after meals. The Mayo Clinic also points out that nuts slow down the way carbohydrates are absorbed. That means when you eat almonds with carbs, your blood sugar rises more gently instead of spiking. For someone managing diabetes, that is powerful. Let me share the story of Luis. He is 72, living with type 2 diabetes for 15 years. Luis always avoided nuts, thinking they would make things worse. Then his dietitian told him to eat a few almonds with his apple snack. At first he was doubtful, but he gave it a try. To his surprise, his blood sugar readings after the snack were 20 to 30 points lower. He felt steadier through the afternoon, no more shaky dips. Over time, this small change gave him more confidence in managing his condition. So what should you do if you are over 60 and watching your blood sugar? First, pair almonds with fruit, like apples or pears, to slow down sugar absorption. Second, before a carb-heavy meal, try eating 5 to 7 almonds as a starter. It prepares your body to handle the meal better. Third, stick to raw or dry roasted almonds, not honey-coated or chocolate-covered ones. Fourth, keep track of your blood sugar when you add almonds, so you can see how your body responds. And fifth, always talk to your doctor if you're on insulin or other medications, because almonds change the way sugar moves in your body. So let me ask you, do you see almonds as a friend to blood sugar control, or still as a foe? Comment below. I want to know if you are team friend or team foe. Here is another common belief. People say almonds are bad for bones because they contain oxalates, which block calcium. That is the myth. Science tells a different story. A review in Osteoporosis International in 2019 explained that almonds actually support bone health. They give you magnesium and phosphorus, both essential for strong bones. While almonds do have oxalates, the amount is moderate, and the nutrients they carry may balance the effect. In fact, when eaten in the right way, almonds may help maintain bone density instead of harming it. Now think about Margaret. She is 66, retired nurse, worried about osteoporosis. She avoided almonds for years because someone told her they would steal calcium from her body. But during a consultation, her dietitian explained the truth. Margaret decided to add 10 almonds to her daily yogurt. A year later, her bone scan, the DEXA test, showed stable bone density, no further loss. For her, that was a big relief. She realized the myth had almost cost her a helpful food. So how do you eat almonds in a way that supports your bones? First, pair them with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or milk, so you get both nutrients together. Second, keep your servings moderate, about 10 to 15 almonds a day. Third, rotate with other nuts, such as walnuts or cashews, for variety. Fourth, drink enough water, because hydration lowers the chance of oxalates causing kidney stones. And fifth, if you already have kidney stone history, talk to your doctor before increasing nut intake. Bones get weaker with age, but smart choices can help. Almonds are not the enemy. They may be a quiet ally when used wisely. Now here is my question for you. Do you believe almonds weaken bones, or do you believe they help protect them? Comment below and let us see if you are team weak or team strong. This one is everywhere. People think drinking almond milk gives the same benefits as eating almonds. That is the myth. Science shows something very different. A 2021 review in the journal Nutrients looked at commercial almond milks. Most of them contain only 2 to 3 real almonds per cup. That means almost none of the protein, fiber, or healthy fat that whole almonds give you. Almond milk can be useful if you are lactose intolerant or need a low-calorie option, but it does not replace the nutrition of eating the nuts themselves. Whole almonds give you the crunch, the fiber, the satiety. Almond milk gives you liquid, sometimes fortified with calcium or vitamin D, but very little of the nut itself. Let me tell you about Daniel. He is 74, widowed, lives alone. He switched to almond milk, thinking it was just as good as the nuts. For months, He thought he was doing everything right, but he noticed he was hungry again only 2 hours after breakfast. Later, his nutritionist explained that almond milk has almost no protein and very little fiber. Daniel decided to add 12 real almonds to his morning alongside his milk. The difference was clear. He stayed full until lunch. No more mid-morning slump. He laughed and said, "Now I know the milk is not the nut." So how can you do it right? First, if you like almond milk, choose unsweetened versions to avoid added sugar. Second, look for fortified ones with added calcium and vitamin D. Third, do not treat almond milk as a nut replacement. Still eat a handful of whole almonds. Fourth, combine them, a small glass of milk and a few almonds on the side. Fifth, remember almond milk is mostly water, so plan your protein and fiber elsewhere. The truth is simple. Almond milk has a place, but it cannot do the job of the whole nut. So let me ask you, if you had to choose only one, would you take almond milk or whole almonds? Comment below, team milk or team whole? Here is a fear many still carry. Almonds are full of fat, so they must be dangerous for the heart. That is the myth. Science says the opposite. In 2015, researchers from the University of Toronto and the British Heart Foundation studied almonds and heart health. They found that almonds actually reduce markers of heart disease. The fat in almonds is mostly monounsaturated fat, the same type of healthy fat found in olive oil. These fats can lower triglycerides and support better circulation. So instead of harming the heart, almonds may support it when eaten in the right way. Let me tell you about George. He is 69, retired construction worker with a family history of heart disease. His father had a heart attack at 62, so George avoided anything fatty, including nuts. But at his last checkup, his cardiologist encouraged him to add almonds. George started with a handful each afternoon instead of crackers. 9 months later, his blood test showed improved triglycerides and a healthier cholesterol ratio. Even better, he noticed he could walk uphill without the heavy chest feeling that used to scare him. So how should you eat almonds if you care about your heart? First, remember portion control. Around 20 almonds a day, not more. Second, pair almonds with green tea or water, not soda. Third, avoid salted, honey-glazed, or chocolate-coated almonds because the sugar and sodium erase the benefit. Fourth, think of almonds as part of a balanced meal, not a replacement for vegetables or whole grain. Fifth, if you are already taking statins or blood pressure medication, ask your doctor before changing your diet. Fat has always been the scary word, but not all fats are equal. The right fat in the right amount can be a powerful ally for the heart. Almonds are proof of that. So let me ask you, are you team avoid fat or team healthy fat? Drop your answer below and let us see where you stand. This is the biggest myth of all. People believe almonds are perfect, that anyone can eat them anytime without risk. That is the myth. Science tells us to slow down. The National Institutes of Health explains that almonds are healthy, but not for everyone. They are high in potassium and oxalates, which can be risky for people with kidney disease. They can also lower blood pressure, which may be dangerous for someone already on medication for low blood pressure. And if you are taking blood thinners, almonds may affect how your body handles vitamin E. A recent review in the Cochrane database in 2022 confirmed that portion control and personal health conditions must always guide nut consumption. So almonds are not a free pass for everyone. Let me share Evelyn's story. She is 71, active grandmother of 5. She started eating a big bowl of almonds every day because she heard they were the perfect snack. After a few weeks, she felt discomfort in her lower back. Her doctor ran tests and discovered her kidneys were struggling. The reason was too much potassium from the almond. Her doctor advised her to cut down to just 5 a day. Within a month, the discomfort eased and her lab results improved. Evelyn still enjoys almonds, but she now knows that even healthy foods have limits. So what can you do? First, if you have kidney issues, limit almonds to 5 to 7 a day. Second, if you are on blood thinners, always check with your doctor before increasing nuts. Third, avoid flavored or processed almonds. Plain is safest. Fourth, spread your intake across the day. instead of eating a lot at once. Fifth, never assume one food is right for all people, even if it is healthy for most. Almonds are powerful, but like every tool, they must be used wisely. For some, they bring energy and protection. For others, too much can bring harm. So let me ask you, do you believe almonds are safe for everyone, or do you believe health conditions should decide? Comment below, team everyone or team careful. So let us bring it all together. We went through 7 myths about almonds, and here are 3 key truths to remember. First, almonds are not the enemy of weight or cholesterol. In fact, when eaten right, they can help with control and balance. Second, almonds can support blood sugar, bone health, and even heart health, but only if you eat them in the right way in the right portion. And third, almonds are not risk-free. Your age, your medications, and your conditions matter. What works for one person may be harmful for another. If you found something new today, share this video with a friend or family member. Maybe they are avoiding almonds because of an old belief, or maybe they are overdoing it and need a reminder about balance. A small conversation can protect health more than we think. If you want more science-based insights, subscribe to Daily 1% Impact. Each week we bring you one simple, practical idea to make life after 60 healthier, stronger, and more confident. And please remember, this video is for education, not for prescription. If you live with kidney disease, diabetes, heart disease, or take daily medication, talk with your doctor before changing your diet. That one step makes every choice safer. Now, 2 questions for you. How many almonds do you usually eat in a day, if any? And have you noticed a difference in your energy, your sugar, or your heart since you added them? Share your answers in the comments. We will highlight 3 responses in our next video. Because health is not about perfection. It is about making one small choice, 1% at a time, every single day.